Anthony, I was just going through your writing here. A couple of things I want to address here. I have to choose another file, but the file I submitted 3 weeks, 3 months ago. It took me a couple of hours to comb through websites. Yes, the image search process is quite daunting for students. I just want you to know that as you transition into your professional career, the image search process becomes a lot easier. Most professional design studios and agencies have access to multiple image libraries, and the image search process is much more straightforward and a lot easier in a professional setting than it is as a student. So um, keep that in mind. Mentioning that, okay, let me see. We'll go to work in the cropping effect, and man and his daughter from like the cropping effect. The terminology here, I think, it's a little confusing. The cropping is removing part of an image. Masking is where you hide part of the image. So I believe you're talking about the masking effect on the man and his daughter, since that is the image from assignment 2-1, the masking assignment. Now you mentioned something about the next copy of your magazine ad, but this is kind of it. You're going to be very busy the next couple of weeks working on the banner ad and learning how to assemble type and learning how to animate. So that said, um, the campaign is due during week 7, so we really only have about 2 weeks to get the campaign submitted. And the reason I say that is because this is it. This is the last checkpoint for the magazine ad, unless you get with me personally and ask me to go through your work. So I'm going to talk about making some adjustments here, but I would recommend that you make those adjustments now and complete the magazine ad before you start the banner. The reason being is because you're going to be using components from the magazine ad in the banner. So all the images, all masking, everything has to be in place and ready to go before should be ready to go before you start your banner. Chosen man and his daughter. Okay. All right. Let's go and take a look then. I think the ad looks great. I think that's a really, really great start. Now I'm going to zoom in, but I have to, since this is let me see, this is JPEG, I'm going to have to use a system zoom. So you might not see this on your end, but yeah, we're seeing a lot of blurriness in those images. So you definitely want to check those. As far as the layout goes, given that this is the layout, now I know you have to replace images, but I'm going to critique this layout just to give you some ideas of where to go. So right now, I think you're a little bit out of balance. I think there's a little too much going on right up here. And I think we can redistribute some of this visual weight. My recommendation is this. Okay, so take the logo. Instead of placing the logo up here, let's take the logo and bring it right down here. Lower right-hand corner is a great place for a logo because it's a good exit strategy. Typically, we start compositions in the upper left. We read left to right, top to bottom, and this is typically an exit area. We usually exit a composition right here. So by placing the branding right at the exit point, you're going to reinforce the client's branding. Very effective technique. At that point, what I would do is I would take this headline and subhead combination and I would move it over here. Establish a left margin. Watch my cursor, somewhere like right about there. Bring the headline right there and bring the subhead and left align those. So the A is in alignment with the C. Watch my cursor. So that type configuration would be somewhere like that. Okay, this is fine right here. The masked image is dead center in the image. Now think of the rule of thirds. So the rule of thirds would dictate that this be placed either in on this. If you were to divide this into 3, okay, then the image would be most interesting if it was in one of those 3, the dividing line. So either here or here. So if it's over here, it's going to be a little bit too far to the left. If it's over here, it's going to imply movement because you've got the beach they're walking on. So they're walking across the beach instead of exiting the scene. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think right about here is perfect placement for the man and his daughter. Um, okay, type looks really good. Good job there. What I would recommend here is to make a little space here after the type and before this kind of subhead right here. So just move that down, separate it from the paragraph just a little bit, right about there. And then I think, honestly, you might consider even placing the type in purple, since it's kind of a difficult to view right there. Okay, that would be my recommendation if these images were high quality, high resolution images suitable for your final submission. But since they're not, um, you are going to have to end up replacing some images. as you mentioned in your writing. So at that point, once you set this, go ahead and resubmit right here, or post it to the general questions area, or even email it to me so I can take a look at it and make sure everything is in line before the final submission. Okay, and that again is coming up in week 7, and that's going to be here. It's quick. I mean, it's going to be here quickly. So let's go ahead and get that. I'd like to see those changes reflected in your final submission. And of course, if you have any questions, please let me know. All right, great start. Thank you very much.